All right. Good afternoon, I guess. Yes, it is afternoon. We'll go ahead and get started. Judge Wood is out today, so he's not going to be able to join us on this meeting. His middle daughter is getting married tomorrow, so he's got family in town and is doing a bunch of fun wedding activities, which is probably a lot more than us sitting on this meeting. So kudos to him. I don't have an agenda, and because I'm not always on here, so Kristen, I'm going to let you take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. So yes, I'll just kind of go over what we saw at the CSU for the month of September. I have not sent out the typical report that I usually do, but I will be happy to send that out after this meeting, so you can have a review of it. Did just want to mention, so September, we were pretty in line with what we saw in August. We had 63 total referrals. In August, we had 67. So we've been maintaining that steady pace of referrals in that 55 to 60 some odd range since the pandemic in March. Of those 63 referrals, we were able to take 44. Excuse me. Yes, that's correct. We were able to take 44. So we did have a 26% denial rate. Of the 17 that were denied, the majority of them fell in the category of they did not meet medical necessity. So what that means is their presentation, their concerns did not meet the threshold for a CSU admission. So we were able to divert them to outpatient care or in another direction. I think the next category, we had 5 folks that were unstable and they were needing more acute care. So they received a referral to a higher level of care, and that would have been done prior to them presenting to the CSU. I think our next highest was 3. It was for an other reason. So that could be a myriad of different things as to why that they were referred away from the CSU. Let me see. Because we kind of shifted over these last couple of months, we shifted the structure that we do things here at the CSU. I think I had mentioned that maybe on a previous meeting. We are working really hard to get people in the door, and when they're in the door, we want to admit them. So our shift in our processes has really helped us in doing that. So most folks that are presenting to the unit are being admitted. So it's very few that are being turned away once they are here at the unit. The folks that would, this month, the folks that were referred out once they presented to the unit, that was by their own choice. And we wouldn't even engage them in kind of that admission process. We talked to them about the unit before we engage them in the admission process. So I think that's been a really helpful thing for us, just ensuring that we're getting the folks that are getting in the door are staying with us. And I think we've worked as a team to really improve our skill set around that as well. And let me just scroll through here and hit some other points for you. So the folks, we did have 4 individuals upon discharge that left AMA. So again, that's that against medical advice. So those would be individuals that, we didn't feel like it was an appropriate time for them to leave. We would have liked them to stay longer, and our provider and prescriber would have liked to have seen them stay longer as well. So we did have 4 individuals that left AMA. We have really kind of fluctuated on that just across the year and months that we've been open. We've had some months where it's very high and we've made improvement and changes, and other months where it's been more around that 4 to 5 mark, and that seems to be kind of the typical standard for us. So we did fall in line with previous months on that. Let's see here. We did have some folks that were referred over to substance use services, whether that be a residential or outpatient program. We're still seeing a pretty high percentage of individuals that are presenting to the CSU do have a co-occurring concern, meaning that they're presenting with both a mental health concern as well as a substance use concern. I would say that the majority of folks that are coming to the CSU do fall into that category. In fact, this month we had 19 individuals that had a co-occurring concern. And let's see, I will say we had, in terms of counties, Washington County was straight and away the most referrals. We had 45 from Washington County with a mix of referrals from emergency rooms as well as Ozark Guidance. Benton County, we had 15 referrals, so that was markedly up from last month when we had 10. That's been the highest we've had across our time with the CSU. So 15 from Benton County, 1 from Carroll, and 2 from Boone. So again, we are seeing some of those outlying counties getting connected with us as well. I think this month, just overall, there seemed to be higher acuity on our unit, meaning we were taking individuals where their needs were quite significant. So I think in previous months we've seen that as well, but that really stood out for me this month, is that we were taking folks with higher needs, higher acuity. And I would say that our consistent daily average census has been consistent. We've been seeing 4 to 5 individuals on the unit, throughout the month of October. That's all, or excuse me, September. That's also been consistent with previous months, probably since the pandemic. So we have been able to maintain about 4 to 5 clients on the unit on an average daily basis. Just something of note, we did have a CIT class in September. It was through Rogers. I think there were about 20, 25 officers that had presented for that CIT training. Brian was there to help with a panel, so I think it was around 20 or 25 if I'm not mistaken. Something really cool that came out of that is the Monday following the end of the training, we had a referral from one of those officers. It was a Washington County Sheriff's deputy, and he actually has referred twice since that training. So it was really neat to see somebody coming in off of that training and, just automatically using the CSU as a resource. And both of his referrals were just excellent referrals, and we were able to really provide a lot of support to him. So that's kind of the overall breakdown and rundown. Is there anything in specific that somebody would like information on or has a question or concern about?
Well, everything else going well at the unit, Kristen? Y'all need anything?
I think it seems to be going just fine. It doesn't seem that we need anything in particular that I can think of. I think we're doing all right over here.
I saw Amanda on Saturday at a birthday party, and I did not realize that she was no longer at the unit.
Yes.
So I was like, hey, how's everything going at the CSU? And she said, well, I'm not there anymore. And I thought, oh, great.
I keep her well informed though. Yeah. So Amanda did leave her position here. I believe it was in
she said
July. Yeah. So
she worked for CASA.
Yes. Yeah. So she took a position over at CASA and is doing really great things over there. But she checks in on us periodically just to see how we're doing. I know her heart is really in this work as well. So. Yes,
very much so. Well, good deal. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else, I see we've got Judge Taylor. I see Casey's filling in for Mike, Matt, Denny, Jay, and Judge Lindsay. Any of y'all have any questions or any thoughts or input or anything that maybe some we tell the officers at the CIT training, always, Kristen and I do, that, one of the things that we ask of them and of all the departments is, if there's something that needs to be changed, if there's some procedure that we need to improve, whether it's for time management or anything, that those guys, please always reach out and let us know, because you guys are the ones that are using it. And so we want to make sure that we're doing all that we can. And I say we, I'm really speaking for Kristen, make sure she's doing all that she can to run the unit as efficiently and to, serve the needs of the law enforcement community. So if anybody has any suggestions or anything, please, by all means, we'd like to know. Well,
Brian, I can't think of anything. I mean, we're still using the unit, and I have not heard anything but compliments about it. I don't know if Tim Shepard, Kristen mentioned it to you, but we did a podcast here recently with a local clinical psychologist, and we steered the conversation, at least beginning, to mental health in the CSU. I don't know if he reached out to you. His name is Zach. I can't remember his last name, but I can forward you the link to his podcast if you want to listen to it. We talked about a lot of other stuff around law enforcement, but it's centered and started out and centered on the CSU. So get you a little bit of advertising there on his podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And just as, on that point, I know that the climate right now is really interesting with law enforcement. And I think that there's been a lot of talk about, having, mental health more integrated in law enforcement community. And so if there's anything that I can do in that respect of just having those conversations or just being a sounding board, obviously, please let me know. I think that those conversations are very important. And if there's something that you guys are curious about, or if there's something that we can have further conversation on, I'd be happy to do that. Or if you want me to come, meet with anybody, or, come either tout the CSU or just talk about mental health, I'm happy to do that as well.
Okay. Yeah, we'll certainly keep you in mind, for our annual officer refresher training, if we want to do a block on that or any other time. Absolutely.
Great.
I will let everybody know that, when we set this board up, the law that allowed us to establish the CSUs also encouraged all counties, not just the ones that have CSUs, but encouraged all counties to have a criminal justice board. And so when Judge Wood established this has been our criminal justice board, our focus was on the CSU. I will let you know that now that the CSU is running well, and now that the county's gotten its report back on our criminal justice system, that this board will kind of change into just the CSU advisory board. So it'll, the same people will be on it. It will still meet like we have been, but the criminal justice board will actually have a new function, and it'll be a little bit different, and it'll be geared just for the law enforcement community. And so Judge Wood will be asking the quorum court to vote to approve the people that he is nominating for that board at the next quorum court meeting, which is next Thursday night. So it won't change anything for us. For this board, we'll continue to meet, continue to do what we've done, and just this will just be geared for the CSU, and then we'll have something separate for the criminal justice system, and that'll take on some different players to have some input in that. So wanted to let all of you know that. I guess that's it, Kristen. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the work that you do. Appreciate all the work that all of you do. And again, if there ever is anything or you hear anything, please let us know. So that we can work to make this, even better. I think that we have the best CSU in the state. I think we're a model for everybody. So, like I tell the CIT officers, as our unit gets full and gets to full capacity, which we're not really at right now, I look to see another unit opening in Benton County. And so just because we have the population and probably have the need, and so, but that, takes law enforcement to help us out in doing that, and it would save, some people some drive time, not coming all the way here to Washington County. But anyways, with that, I hope all of you have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, and I'll send that monthly breakdown out to everybody just shortly here after the meeting.
Thanks, Kristen. We appreciate it.
Sure, no problem.
Thank y'all. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
See y'all.